All right, welcome back. And today, what we're doing is continuing where we left off yesterday. I actually found that we have this bug in the app, which is that the minutes don't count down. So the whole idea is that you get a certain amount of minutes every month. So every user has a certain amount of minutes to do phone calls. And that should obviously be counting down with every phone call that you make so that you lose minutes with every phone call. But right now it doesn't do that. So we need to find a way to figure out why it doesn't do that right now. So we're just going to get straight to it. We don't have that long today, but again, my whole thing right now, what I'm trying to do is have the mindset of there ain't nothing to it but to do it, and anything is better than nothing. So I don't know if those two make sense to you when I say them together, but the second one is the idea that, well, I might only have an hour and 30 minutes right now, but that is we can get a lot of progress done in an hour 30 minutes. And even though it might feel like that is not that much, something is going to be better than nothing. And the other part to it is there ain't nothing to it but to do it. That is just my kind of my way of reminding myself that just start, like, don't think too much, just get started with something and then it will work out, pretty much. Something I think is interesting is that whenever I've been very consistent when it comes to YouTube, I've noticed that I get a lot better at things. Like, I start realizing that, okay, this is the type of way you should do intros. And then this is how you should title a video. This is how you should edit to the music. This is how you should, like, maintain the audience, if that makes sense. Like, it's a weird thing, very similar to how if you've ever worked out very frequently, especially doing like powerlifting or like heavy weights, you might be familiar with the idea that you get sort of, your nervous system gets like dialed in. So I noticed this when I was doing like the RSR, like Russian squat routine for a while. I noticed that whenever I went to like put the weight on my back, I could feel my nervous system like turn on. Like, I felt that my muscles and my body was like working as a unit, instead of what happens when you're like not that frequent with working out, or you're not that frequent with doing heavy weights. You go up to the bar and you're just like, you feel a little bit flimsy almost. When I was doing the Russian squat routine for a while, I felt like a rock at a certain point. I was like, so like my body was just ready to squat, if that makes sense. And I think it's the same with anything that you do. Just being consistent, increasing frequency will mean that you just get dialed in almost without even trying, if that makes sense. Like, you just being consistent, just trying to think about these things a lot and trying to really focus on it will sort of in itself make you better at the thing. So yeah, that's why the line or the idea of there ain't nothing to it but to do it helps a lot with that. You just have to do something and then you will get better at it. Kind of goes against the deliberate practice idea, but I don't think they are opposed. I just think obviously you should try to do it deliberately, and you should try to be deliberate in your approach, but even if you're not, you're going to get better. So the biggest lever that you can pull is going to be doing it. And then once you're doing it, you can start tweaking it and being more deliberate with how you're doing it. But that's going to be easier once you start doing it. So let's start doing it. Okay, so actually things are just being a little bit too easy now almost. Like it's I don't complain about it, but it really is seeming too easy. Like once I got to the point where I started getting Claude to provide queries for me to just check the database first to see what actually happens in the database and then give me solutions, and to also do it one step at a time. So just give me one thing to execute and then I'll send you the result of it, or Claude the result of it, and then it will after that provide me with the next thing. After starting to implement that, it seems like it's doing a really good job with this, because it just seems like it's getting everything, honestly. And I think that's one of the benefits with Superbase, because it's just based on SQL, and SQL is just pretty easy. Although this doesn't look very easy, but yeah, SQL isn't that difficult. It's one of the most used. I don't know what you call it. Like it's not a language, I don't think, but systems or languages for database stuff. All right, and it seems like it did work, because now what was happening is that we were tracking minutes and not seconds, and minutes is really the variable that we want to track. It's just that it's not. Um, let's say that you spend 62 seconds in a phone call, then it would round up to 2 minutes, which means that you would be like plowing through your minutes within not that long. But if we instead track seconds, we can be more accurate, and we can display it to the user in a way that's kind of makes more sense, hopefully. Now, I want to see what happens if we run the app again and see how many seconds it says that we have, or how many, whatever it says. Because I think we need to convert it on the front end to just um, look better. Okay, I think yeah. So right now it says remaining minutes 50, and that's not what it should say. So let's ask ChatGPT or Claude here in the VS Code to just update this so that it handles minutes or seconds into minutes. Okay, I'm a little bit worried now about what Claude might have done because I told it that I changed the user model on the back end to instead look like this, and I paste it in and it says just seconds, lifetime seconds, blah, blah, blah. But there are obviously a lot more fields to the user model. So I'm a little bit worried that because it says like examined user model and minutes, blah, 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 updated. And then it updated the user model to look like this. I'm a little bit worried that it like took away a lot of things to instead replace with just this. I don't think it did because like it still says profile picture, email, name, user ID. So it might have understood that context, but who knows? So now what should happen is if we press this start connection button, we should see it say 49 minutes remaining. And that is it. If it worked, that's what it should say. And it says 49 minutes remaining. Fuck, that's so good. That is really good. Like that means that the minutes now track properly. The next thing that we need to do is we need to make sure that we track the actual like a one-to-one direct call as well. Right now we're tracking random calls, but we also need to track calls between matches, which we don't do currently as far as I know. But that is essentially all that we needed. So yeah, pretty happy. Let's see, we have about 20 minutes left, and not sure if we can make this in 20 minutes, but let's see if we can do it. So right now we fixed the bug of minutes tracking weirdly. That is done. Minute tracking in direct calls is what we're going to try to achieve right now. So that means that we need to match these two users. Okay, they should be reset. And like, it's a match. We're going to wait for about 20 seconds to see if it's going to go down to 48 minutes, because it should do that right about now. Fuck, that's not good. It's oh yeah, it should reset, shouldn't it? Because I reset it, so that's not, let's just not think about that. Okay. All right, I'm gonna have to go now. I've been sitting here for 25 minutes longer than I should, and I really should have actually left the apartment by now, but it seems like there's an issue with the front end not calling the backend function properly. And so that's why it's not working. So the 20 minutes I had left to kind of get to, to sort of like add this achievement as well to this to today's session, those 20 minutes turned into almost an hour now. So that's why it's like you should never really do that. You should never really do like, oh, I'm just going to do one last thing, see if we can get it done. Kind of settle for whatever you achieved if it was the thing that you wanted to achieve, because otherwise you end up where I end up so many times. But I've been getting a lot better at stopping when I say I'm going to stop, because that's probably my biggest problem, to be honest. I say that I'm going to stop at 12 p.m. and then I'm like right in the middle of something and so close to solving it. Like right now, I'm so close, I feel like, to solving this. I feel like it might just be this query or this message to send to Claude Code and it might be solved. But I also know that if it's not, then it's going to be another like 20 minutes. So I can't afford that. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next one on Monday, I think. Not sure. All right.